Hiya.
Hello.
Welcome to the Geeky Girls Knit podcast. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl.
I'm Dammy, also known as Jammy's Doodles.
And we're glad to have you today. Today is Wednesday, the 23rd of November, 2016. It's the day before U.S. Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. And this is episode 218.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We would like to say a big welcome back. We love you guys. To all our returning viewers. And a big hiya to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. We hope you enjoy the show. We hope this is a good break, getaway from the chaos of Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving can be chaotic. So maybe you just spend an hour with us and you'll feel better, because you know we're going to make you laugh, because we make each other laugh. We have I'm like jumping ahead. We have people who introduce themselves in the Ravelry group this week. Why don't you give them a shout out?
Okay. Jen, who is Jen's Spreadsheet from Waterlooville, England.
Well, now let me tell you this. Jen is the infamous Jen from the retreat. She's the one that passed out and thus led to hashtag Cece says hydrate. So Jen, are you hydrating? I hope so. Don't make me have to come there and tell you to hydrate in person. No, she's hydrating. I know. We talked about this. Hydrate. Everybody hydrate. Especially right now, Thanksgiving. Like, I like to drink. I drink a lot of caffeine and stuff because, you know, like, you need the energy because you got so much to do. So make sure you're hydrating. Okay? Okay, so hygiene. Okay, and somebody else introduce themselves.
Erica, who is Isa Laza from Texas.
Welcome, Erica. So, Dammy, if somebody, I don't know why I've forgotten how to do the show. We just did it last week. If somebody has not joined our Ravelry group, what should they do and why?
You should join and introduce yourself in our introductions thread, because you will get a shout out in our next episode, and you will be able to participate in all our cows and giveaways.
That's right. Which we have 2 new cows starting next week.
Mm-hmm.
We'll mention those at the end. We'll give you all the details next week, but we'll mention those at the end. Okay, well, Dammy, we don't have a lot of Yummies this week. We do have a lot of FOs. And, but we have a lot of TV. Because we were playing catch up from being out of town for 2 weeks. So, because of that, and just because we're ready, I think we should probably get started. Here we go.
Now we're going to talk about what is on our needles.
What is on your needles, Dammy?
So right now, on my needles, I am working on samples for a pattern I've designed for our upcoming book, Coffee with Cece and Dammy 2. And I'm calling them Baby Chino socks, and they're going to be baby and toddler and kid socks. They're on US 3s, 3.25 millimeters, and the yarn I'm using is Very Colorful Yarnings Saturated DK Self-Striping. But I can't show it to you, I assume.
No.
No.
So Michelle dyed a very special colorway of yarn for your pattern.
Mm-hmm.
So we have 7 lovely indie dyers who have each dyed a colorway of yarn for us for a pattern for the book.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be exciting, and we can't wait to share those with you. Yeah. I'm trying to think. I think that's everything that we can say about that.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, do you have anything else on your needles?
No.
Okay.
So what's on your needles?
Well, first up is my zigzag blanket is back in play again. This is what I lovingly call, because Gilmore Girls is this week, I will give you the full name of my zigzag blanket. It is called the When You Think I'll Zig, I'll Zag. Then when you think I'm going to zag, I do zag, just to mess you up for the next time when I might zig blanket. That's a quote from Gilmore Girls, just in case you didn't know. The pattern I'm using is the 10-stitch zigzag pattern by Frankie Brown. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. I'm on US 4 3.5 mil needles, and right now I am knitting out of Gnome Acres. I don't know what base it is, but it's the Stars Hollow colorway. Left over from my Stars Hollow socks, because House Gnome, that's it. And you're seeing this on the screen right now because it's too big to bring over and show you. So I've just gotten in like 3 or 4 zigzags this week, but yes. And then second up on my needles, which I can talk about without having to whisper because the Hubs is across the street picking up something for me at the shopping center. I am working on the Hubs Christmas socks. So this is from my French Vanilla Cappuccino sock pattern. I'm on US 1.5 2.5 mil needles, and the yarn, it looks like a psychedelic effect has happened. The yarn is Owl About Yarn Sparkle Owl in the cranberry sauce colorway. There is a little sparkle to it, but I think it's going to be okay. I love the way it's pooling. And the toes, heels, and cuffs will be the Uncommon Thread Tough Sock in the Nutcracker colorway, which is from the caramel latte sock pattern from our book. Yeah, so that is, I think I just need to do like maybe 2 or 3 more rows and I'll be ready to do the heel on the first sock. So that will be going with me this weekend when we go for Thanksgiving with my bestie and her family. And then the other thing on my needles is actually sitting here in my lap right now, and Dammy actually raised the camera so that I can work on it because I can't show y'all. But I'm wanting to try to have it finished before we leave to go out of town tomorrow. So this is the 4th pattern in our White Christmas inspired collection. It's so squishy. This is the There Were Never Such Devoted Sisters shawl. I'm on US 4s, 3.5 mil needles. I'm getting a lot of stuff on 4s lately. And the yarn is Ginger's Hand-Dyed Luscious 4-ply in the She Wore the Dress colorway. And it is a big, big, big shawl. It uses almost 700 beads in it, well, depending on your gauge. And I'm doing the edging, and I'm having to MacGyver things a little bit because I'm trying to think how I can say it without giving away the secret sauce. Well, the edging I'm doing uses a lot of stitches. And I was on my largest interchangeable sized needle cord, and it was getting really tight, and I'm not done with the edging yet. So I'm MacGyvering it by doing it how some people do socks where they use 2 circulars, and like half the stitches are on one and half the stitches are on the other. So Dammy just got for me a few minutes ago out her largest interchangeable needle cable. And so I'm kind of dividing it in half, and we'll see how it goes. But I would really like to get this finished before we leave. I'm done with the beading. I'm just doing the edging. Because if I could soak it and lay it out to block while we're gone out of town, then when we get back, we could do the photo shoot for all 4 patterns. Mm-hmm. Which needs to be done. So I am going to knit on this while we talk. If I can get to the end of this round, the next round is just a knit round, and so it shouldn't be that big a deal. But I'm going to try to secretly work on this while we are chatting with y'all in the hopes of getting it done before we leave to go out of town. Okay. And that's everything that I am working on. But like I said, there are quite a few FOs, so we should talk about those.
And now we are going to talk about our finished projects.
Yes. What did you finish this week?
I started something and finished it in less than a week.
Huzzah!
So I knit the sample for the pattern that's going to be in our White Christmas collection, designed by her. I called them Dreaming of a White Christmas Socks, and they're on US 1.5, 2.5 millimeters, in very colorful yarnings, saturated sock self-striping.
Yes, the actual name of them is going to be May All Your Christmases Be White Socks. May all your Christmases be white socks? No. And it's got an optional beaded. Mm-hmm. You did beading on the whole sock because nobody's really going to be wearing this. It's going to be on a mannequin foot. But it's got optional beading that you can do just on the legs so that the beads aren't in your shoe. Yes. So, sorry, the hubs was running an errand for me and had a question. So, yes, so there's the optional beaded thing. And Michelle dyed a beautiful self-striping yarn for the pattern, and we can't wait to show that to y'all. And thank you to Dammy for knitting up the sample. Yeah. All right, did you finish anything else?
No. So what all did you finish?
Well, feel like I'm making up for last week when I had 0 FOs by having 5 FOs this week, as one does. First up, I have my Christmas socks. Ta-da! This is what I have called, would you like some cranberry sauce with your peppermint mocha socks? It is from my French vanilla cappuccino sock pattern. Hold that thought for 2 seconds. Welcome to the Interruptius something or other. I feel like it needs to be something like in omnia paratus, but something about Interruptius Chaotica.
Talk about your socks.
My socks. Back to my socks. This is from my French vanilla cappuccino sock pattern. I'm on US 1.5 2.5 mil needles, and the yarn is something you just saw, All About Yarn Sparkle Owl in the cranberry sauce colorway. And the green is Pendia's Jules hand-dyed yarn Snug in the peppermint mocha colorway, which is one that Julia dyed for me for the peppermint mocha pattern that was in our first book. So there they are done and ready to be worn. Next up, you might notice I am wearing something very, very special, which you can't totally see all of it, which is why we're going to put pictures on the screen because we went outside in the freezing cold and took pictures. This is my Nanny Swimo 2016 Sugar Maple, which is a pattern by Karina Spencer. I was on US 4 3.5 mil needles. The first yarn is Bylum hand-dyed yarns Slicka in an unnamed colorway, and the rest of it is Ginger's hand-dyed Luscious 4-ply in the I'm a Barbie Girl colorway. I ended up with, drumroll please, 66,052 stitches. Ooh. Now, I did encounter a couple of when knitting attacks moments with this sweater, which I'm purloining from the Knitmore Girls, which I am purloining from the Knitmore Girls. I'm purloining, and I'm purloining when knitting attacks. So I finished the sweater. I put it into soak. I laid it out on the table to block and found a dropped stitch. Yeah. So I grabbed a locking stitch marker and just caught the stitch and just locked it until it dried. And then I repaired that. But then also noticed when I flipped it over to be on the front side that there was a spot where I had split a stitch and it was made a hole. And I really couldn't like tink back. I mean, that was at the very first part of the thing. I don't know how I missed it. So I did some internal repair and I think it's okay. But I'm in love with my sweater. I'm taking it with me for Thanksgiving. Right now I'm wearing a long sleeve tee under it, but in the picture I was just wearing a tank under it just because this top yarn is a little bit more sheer than the I'm a Barbie Girl colorway one. So yeah, I'll just wear a tank or a long sleeve tee under it. So there. I finished it in 19 days. And that included vending for 2 days at a yarn show, Yarnporium in London, and hosting a knitting retreat. How the heck did I do this in 19 days? I'll tell you how. It was mostly stockinette. Okay, and then I caught up on preemie hats because I had not done any while I was doing my Nanny Swimo sweater. So I have hats number 45, 46, and 47 for you. So they're all from my free top-down preemie hat pattern on Ravelry, and they're all on US 6's 4 mil needles. This first one, the yarn is King Cole Merino Blend DK in the Bark colorway, and Lanateum Ex Machina Merino DK Twist in the Cherry Cabaret colorway. And I've used up all of these, both yarns, so you will not hear me talking about Cherry Cabaret again. The next one is Mirasol Yarn Hacho in the Royal Yellow Mauve colorway. Very descriptive. And the last one, number 47. I didn't change that there. I hope I did it in the other thing. 47 is Patton's UK Fab DK Variegated in the 23-26 colorway. So there we go. 3 preemie hats. That makes us up to 47. And I'm caught up and all is right in the world again. Not really, but for this moment it is. So that was my attempt to make up for not having an FO last week. All right, I think that is everything, so let's move on to the next segment. So now, it's time for our favorite part of the show. Yummies! What are yummies, Tammy?
Yummies are our current favorite things, things we like, things we want to talk to you about.
Yummies. And as I said, we don't have as many yummies this week because we had a ton last week. I just wanted to share that one of my favorite singers has released her very first Christmas album. The singer, her name is Christy Nockels, and the album is called The Thrill of Hope. I helped fund it because she did kind of a crowdsourcing thing earlier this year to fund it, so I helped. And I have been listening to The Thrill of Hope pretty much nonstop since it released a couple weeks ago. So it released actually while we were still out of town, and so I couldn't download it till we got home because I needed to do it on the computer to get it in iTunes and all that. So, but I am in love with it. It's just amazing. It's got quite a few like well-known songs, and then there's songs that they wrote specifically for it. Her kids come in on one of the songs and sing and play the guitar. There's one song that is just this fabulous jig and makes you want to dance. It's really good. So if you're looking for a new Christmas album this year, consider Christy Nockels' The Thrill of Hope. I put a link to it in the show notes. Now, Dammy, you said you had something you wanted to talk about?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Great Comet, since it opened like a week ago,
Okay, now
weeks ago.
tell people what the Great Comet is in case they don't know.
It is a comet, and it's pretty great, y'all. It is a show on Broadway. The full title is Natasha Pierre and the Great Comet of 1812,
Yep.
but people just refer to it as the Great Comet or Great Comet of 1812 or Comet.
I feel like that needs to be across the screen, like, Comet.
And it has Josh Groban in it
Which
as
I adore Josh Groban.
Pierre, and I am eagerly waiting for the original Broadway cast recording to come out, but they haven't recorded yet. What?
That just reminded me that we need to watch The Polar Express.
I thought that was Michael Bublé.
No, Josh Groban sings a song at the end.
That was Bublé.
No, it's Groban.
Bublé?
Groban.
Anyway.
I will Google it while
It
you
opened like a week ago or so, and so there have been like lots of reviews coming out. Is it? I thought it was Bublé.
I was right. This
Okay.
doesn't happen very often. I'm right.
Okay, well, anyway, reviews, and I read a couple of reviews, and they said a couple of funny things.
Okay.
Like, this one from the Hollywood Reporter. It was talking about Lucas Steele's character, who is Anatole.
Uh-huh.
And Anatole, he's Trouble Man.
Oh.
But in the article, they described Anatole as a preening peacock with a platinum blonde faux hawk. Yeah. And then they called Lucas so wickedly sexy that he should be arrested.
Oh, dear.
And I'm like, you just took the words right out of my mouth, Hollywood Reporter. And then there was another one, can't remember who it was from, but it, like, opened the article stating what happens before, like, the whole show starts. So all of the actors, except 3 of them, come on stage, and they're just, like, milling about and doing stuff and chilling and talking to the audience. But they also have these baskets of pierogi, which is a type of bun, usually filled with something like fried mushrooms or something. And
So it's a savory bun, not a sweet bun.
yeah, and they're like, who's hungry? And they like give out all this pierogi.
They must have a bakery that they're working with, and that bakery's making a lot of money.
Yeah, and they also have, when they were at Ars Nova, which was their first performance space, they had free vodka on every table.
Oh, dear.
And they still have vodka now, but you have to pay for it. And during the show, occasionally, actors will come up to you and do shots with you.
No more free vodka for you. But you can have a free savory bun.
Pierogi.
Pierogi.
I think that's the singular. Pierogi.
I told them, didn't I tell them that this was going to be Interruptius Chaotica.
Sure.
I'm gonna name it the episode that.
So yeah, I just want some pierogi from the cast. They like come around with their little baskets and I'm just like, here, have some. You're naming your.
Yes, I am. While you tell them the other thing you're gonna.
Yeah, and the other thing, the Great Comet has really interesting seating. Like a good deal of the seating is on the stage. So like those who are on the stage are like in the middle of the action. And for one of the on-stage seats, there's one seat where an actor comes up to you and kisses your hand, and then he gives you your hand. It's like, hey, kiss it.
And you want to sit in that seat?
Yeah, I do.
Does that seat cost more, or is it a different seat every night?
I think it's the same seat every night, but it does cost a little more because it's like on the stage.
But it's not more just because the actor's gonna kiss your hand.
No. No, Nick's not charging for his services.
We have a hand kissing, oh crap, I just had the word.
I don't know what you're talking about. Is there a synonym?
I don't know. I was trying to say like that there was like, that's still not the word. It's like an add-on. There's a hand kissing add-on, but that's not the word I was looking for.
Extra charge? Surcharge?
Surcharge. There's a surcharge for hand kissing.
Yeah, no, Nick's not charging for his services.
Did I spell the title correct? How you would spell it?
No, I'll fix it later.
Oh dear. See.
Okay, now let's talk about something that's not Nick Choxy kissing my hand. You're not Nick Choxy.
But I want you to kiss my hand.
No.
I'll kiss your hand.
No. Let's talk about the pictures. Ah!
I win. We're going to talk about hashtag GGKCraftyPad. What is it?
It stands for Geeky Girls Knit Crafty Photo a Day Challenge. So we have a list of photo prompts for each month. So you take a look at the prompt for that day, take a picture related to it, and post it anywhere you'd like. No one uses big cameras anymore. And you post it...
But what is is that like the...
Yeah. You post it anywhere you like, but we pick our favorites from Instagram. So, now we are going to show you 2 photos from us that we liked and 5 photos from other people that we liked.
But you didn't let me say about what this month's theme is.
It's about being thankful.
Be thankful. A grateful heart. Okay. You know what song I'm about to burst into?
Nope.
Dammy is trying to cut me off because there was a song. I wasn't even going to sing the song.
There were the photos.
So congratulations if your photo got chosen, even though Dammy's being mean to me. So it's never too late to join in.
No.
I was going to see if you were going to say it or not.
No.
You take a look at the prompts list. Today's prompt, I think it's hashtag what I'm doing now, WIDN. Wooden. Take a picture, and then you can interpret the prompt however you want. That's totally fine. Take the picture, you post it on Instagram. Make sure you use the hashtag GGKCraftyPad, and yours might get chosen. We need to take a picture of us recording so that I can use it for my hashtag WIDN.
We'll do it.
Oh, you want me to do like this? I was just going to have you do a thing from there. Oh. But we can totally do this. Oh, wow. I forgot that. Hold on, let's see. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where is my brain, you guys?
We did the photos.
It's like we haven't recorded in years, but we have. Now, I know what's next. What's next is upcoming events.
We are going to be vending at Edinburgh Yarn Festival on Friday the 10th and Saturday the 11th of March 2017.
Yes. We'll be sharing a booth with Sam of Dent Run Dig, and we will be releasing our brand new book. You want to tell them the full title?
I already told you.
No, but you didn't tell them the subtitle.
Coffee with Cece and Damn You to another 7 pattern and caffeine-inspired knitting collection.
That is correct. And we'll be putting the book up for pre-order sometime after the new year. So that if you're not going to be able to be at Edinburgh Yarn Festival, that you can order it in advance. Okay. Well, like I said, we have a lot to talk about in the next segment, so we should probably move on.
And now we're going to talk about what we're reading and watching.
So why don't you start with what we're reading? What you're reading?
I am reading War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. I'm in book 6
Of?
15 and 2 epilogues.
Wow.
Yeah, there's like 8 books dedicated to 1812. I'm like, what happened in 1812? I know what happened in 1812.
The Great Comet.
No, it was a meteor. Come on, who told you that? A comet?
Have you gotten to that part yet?
No, I am in 1809 to 1810 right now.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what book does it come about in?
Now I don't remember. I think it's like 10 or 11.
Okay.
I'll probably get there soon-ish.
Because you're just like devouring it.
It's delicious.
That's what happens when there's a book that you enjoy. You devour it.
Yeah. And so lots of stuff's happened. Nikki made some bad choices with gambling and Dolokhov, and Andre found a tree he liked.
What kind of tree? Christmas tree?
An oak tree.
Why did he want an oak tree?
No, he didn't want an oak tree. He just saw it and he liked it because it was a metaphor for himself.
My needles are getting
He likes this tree.
okay.
And
What is he going to do about it?
look at it,
Okay.
admire it.
Okay.
It's a
All right.
nice tree.
Okay.
And I think that's pretty much all that's majorly happened.
Okay.
I think Natasha and Andre might be about to officially meet for the first time.
Okay.
Oh, I read the scene that inspired the song No One Else in the musical.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you reading anything else?
No. What are you reading?
Well, I finished reading a nonfiction book this week. I finished reading Heart Made Whole, Turning Your Unhealed Pain into Your Greatest Strength by Krista Black Gifford. And it was a whole in Starbucks crying into the book.
They must worry about you.
I know, I cry a lot at Starbucks.
What do you think Luke would do if you were just crying in Luke's?
I think he would bring me another cup of coffee and a donut on the house. Because he can't deal with it.
Would he be so confused? Like, what did I do? What is happening?
He'd be like, oh no, we don't need any crying here. Here, have some more coffee. Here, have a donut. It's okay. That would be what he would do. Because he couldn't deal with the emotions. We're speaking about Luke from Gilmore Girls, just in case you haven't gathered that.
Luke Great Danes.
So I finished reading that. And I'm being very serious. This was a serious book. I finished reading that, and I am ready to jump into The Broken Way by Anne Voskamp, who is one of my favorite authors. I have it ready and queued up to start reading next. And then I'm still rereading in real time Shadow of the Night by Deborah Harkness using the All Souls real-time reading companion. And then fiction-wise, I have been reading the War Eternal series by M.R. Forbes, and they're available on Kindle Unlimited. And it is a sci-fi series about artificial intelligence taking over and trying to destroy humanity. And so I've read books 1 and 2, and now I'm reading book 3. I'm about 2/3 of the way through book 3. I was reading it during lunch. And they're pretty good. And that's all that I'm reading. So now we shall dive into the epic amounts of television, because we played catch up and we have caught up on everything we missed during the 2 weeks we were gone, plus the week since last week that we recorded. So we watched 3 weeks worth of TV in a week. So first up, I am still watching series 3 of Rosemary and Thyme. I think I only have like 2 or 3 episodes left. I was having a TV knitting binge watch session yesterday afternoon working on this shawl, and watched I think 3 episodes of it. So yeah. And then Gilmore Girls. So we finally gave in and admitted that we were not going to be able to rewatch the entire 7 seasons before the new episodes come out. So from where we were at, we were about 2/3 of the way through season 5. So I went through and picked out, I think, 15 or 16 key episodes from the rest of season 5, season 6, and season 7. And so all we have left now to watch are just the penultimate and ultimate episodes of season 7. But we watched Kirk in Fiddler on the Roof. We watched Lorelai propose to Luke. We watched Rory get arrested and move in with Emily and Richard and quit Yale and have to do the community service. We watched The Prodigal Daughter Returns, where Rory and Lorelai are back together, but that's when April appears.
She just appears out of thin air.
I'm trying to think what else we watched in season 6. We watched Lane's Wedding. And then we watched the season 6 finale where Lorelai gave Luke an ultimatum and he wouldn't go for it, and she left and went and spent the night with Christopher. And then in season 7, as you know, as I have said before, there are only 3 key things that happen in season 7 that I feel are important. One is in the knitting episode, where my tattoo, which is now upside down, came from. It's only upside down because I couldn't turn my arm like that. I feel like I'm being Suki. Knit People Knit, season 7. I Will Always Love You, which Dammy calls.
Why are you making such a big deal out of it?
Because it's the I Will Always Love You moment, not the drunk karaoke moment.
But she'd been doing shots. She was drunk.
I Will Always Love You. When she's singing to Rory and then she starts singing to Luke. And then we'll get in the finale, when Luke and the town throw Rory a graduation bon voyage party. Mm-hmm. So we have the 2 episodes left of season 7, and then we will be ready for this weekend. Mm-hmm. If you want to know my list of key episodes, you post in the thread in the Ravelry group, and I will try to remember all the ones that we've watched and tell you. All right, Dammy, why don't you, now that we're like almost 8 minutes into TV, tell us about something.
Okay, we are watching season 4 of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So we got some more of Robbie's, Ghost Rider's backstory, and his uncle is evil.
He is evil.
Ooh.
He's the one that caused the problem. Do you want to talk about the next one, or do you want me to?
Sure. You spelled Kirk wrong. It has an E at the end. It's silent.
Oh. Oops. I was thinking Kirk from Gilmore Girls. I was like, wait, what? No, Kirk
no,
from
he doesn't have any.
So are you talking about this, or am I? I'm sorry, I got confused.
I'll talk about
Okay.
it. So we are watching season 4. We watched...
Of?
The Blacklist. I said that.
Oh.
So Kirk isn't Lizzie's father. Mm-hmm. So is Reddington Lizzie's father? Is he? Or was he just saying that to, like, get at Kirk?
I'm so confused.
Like, to annoy him. And is Lizzie's mom alive? And what is going to happen with Mr. Kaplan? And I'm assuming that meant that was the mid-season finale.
Yeah, that is the mid-season finale we watched. Craziness, so much confusion. I watched 2 or 3 episodes of Supernatural season 12. Dean killed Hitler. This Hitler was in this pocket watch, and they were trying to bring him back, and they brought him back, and he like was over the deep end, like leaping around and singing and all kinds of crazy things, and Dean shot him and killed him.
Same.
Yeah. And Jody, we got Jody back in an episode, and Mary has decided that she wants to live. She doesn't want to go back to heaven right now. She wants to live and get to know her boys. The Hubs and I are watching season 10 of The Big Bang Theory. Breaking news, Sheldon wants to have a baby. Amy is not on board for this right now. Yeah. And the Hubs and I are watching NCIS LA season 8. Granger is ill. Like really ill. Like possibly, oh crap, what is it called? Agent Orange?
What?
We're going to have to pause and let me Google so I can tell you. Yes, I was calling it the right thing. Agent Orange, which is it was like a chemical that caused a lot of veterans, especially from the Vietnam War, to become very ill. So, but the way he was portraying it, the Hubs and I were both convinced that, like, the actor was really ill, like in real life. And so, like, I'm Googling and everything, and from what I can tell, he's not. He is just playing this part so well.
Is Granger the older guy?
Mm-hmm. And when you walked in the other day, did you notice that his voice sounded a whole lot different? It was very nasal and very... it sounded like he had a really horrible cold, but almost to the point where you couldn't understand the words.
I did not hear.
So, he is ill. I'm wondering if he's wanting to leave the show, and that's how they're going to write him out. I don't know. But Kinsey is improving. Physical therapy is going well.
She was strangling a Marine. Because the food.
Oh, yeah. They were working on their gross motor skills. Fine motor skills.
Gross motor skills.
Fine motor skills. Anyway. And Callan's father is back, and we've learned that he has a half-sister.
His father or Callan?
Callan.
Is it Callan or Callum?
I don't know. Callum. So, yeah. So, there's that. Why don't you talk about the next one?
So, we watched season 5 of Elementary. We watched 2 episodes of it.
I couldn't remember this morning what happened last night in it.
Well, Clyde was in both of them. He was just hanging out,
chilling. He was taking a walk in the living room in the first episode we watched.
Yeah, because they put a snake in his terrarium. Yeah.
But what happened in last night's episode? I can't remember. She went and talked to, what's his name?
Shinwell. Porky.
And he, was, telling her not to be part of his life anymore.
He's shutting people out because he doesn't know how to deal.
Yeah. But what was the case? Oh, it was the
skydiving.
The base jumping.
That thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was that episode last night.
Mm-hmm.
The Hubs and I are watching season 10 of Murdoch Mysteries. Murdoch plans to invent all kinds of modern appliances for their home, like a dishwasher and things like that. But he's just as he does in the show, calls things really weird names that he invents. We also watched an episode with Olympic football, soccer for you American viewers, where Inspector Brackenreach has taken over as the coach. He's going to be the Olympic coach for the team because the regular coach was arrested.
Oh. What is Killer Kisses?
Then last night's episode that we watched.
You watched 3 episodes?
Yeah, over the course of the week. So this woman was killing men with lipstick that had cyanide in it, and she bit their lip, and it seeped in and killed them. She had some kind of wax or something that she put on her lips before she put the lipstick on. She was getting revenge. It was kind of an ugly duckling to swan type story. She was getting revenge on people that were mean to her growing up and everything. Yeah, so that's Killer Kisses. Okay, you talk about the next one.
We're watching season 2 of Supergirl. We have one episode to watch
Tonight, yeah.
Yeah, but Mrs. Luther is bad. She's with Cadmus.
Not the Luther that is the lady from Merlin.
Katie McGrath.
That's her. Her mom is bad, but she's like been something buddy and something. Remember, I was like, she's familiar. What was she in the mother?
Katie McGrath?
No, the mother.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, you talk while I look.
And also, James is like, I'm gonna be a vigilante now, and he is the vigilante now with Wynn's help.
Oops.
And so, yeah, James is the Guardian. The Guardian.
The Guardian. Come on, computer. The internet is being slow. I don't know why. Supergirl.
Yeah, and so...
Hold that thought. Yeah, we do have one episode to watch tonight. I can't remember the name of it, but... Okay, so let's see. We watched... Oh, and it had the guy from Lost in it. Ooh, I don't think I put that in the show notes.
No.
The hubs and I are rewatching Lost. Brenda Strong. She's from something. Yeah, so we've only watched like 4 or 5 episodes. But like I was like, oh,
Seinfeld.
She is from Seinfeld, but she's from something else that I know. What is it? She was in Scandal. Oh, she was in Desperate Housewives. That may be what I'm remembering her from. I didn't watch all of that, but... Oh, Everwood, of course. She's from Everwood. Everwood.
Okay.
Everwood. Yes, the hubs and I are rewatching Lost. We've watched like 4 or 5 episodes. Was like, tell me when it's over, when the guy gets sucked into the engine. So we had to take a pretty big pause there, and I just want to tell you what happened, because I'm sure my demeanor is going to be a little different for the rest of the episode. Sorry, I just got a phone call from my dad in the States that my mom had an accident yesterday and fell and landed on her knee and is in surgery right now. So, yeah, if you're the praying type, could you just lift up prayers for my mom? And it's times like this that it's hard to be across the ocean from your family. So, we're going to try to power on, though, and finish this episode for y'all, because we want to get an episode up before we leave for Thanksgiving. So, I know we were talking about Supergirl, but I don't remember.
Mrs. Luther is from Everwood.
Oh, yes, that's why I recognize her. So, okay, well, why don't you talk about a little bit of the stuff?
We're watching season 12 of Criminal Minds. So, the episode was about bullying. One of them was
the first one was about bullying.
And Hotch and Jack are in witness protection now. That's how they're dealing with that.
Yeah. At least they didn't kill them off.
No.
I was worried that they would, like, kill Hotch off or something.
Yes, and now Emily is the new unit chief.
Yay. We like Emily. So, alright, you want to talk about the next one?
We are watching season 2 of Blind Spot. I think we watched 2 episodes. Yeah.
At least 2, maybe 3.
So, for the first one, apparently there was a he said, she said, super ridiculous telling of what happened.
Don't you remember it was 2 people they had arrested, and he was like making it sound like he had like fought off the bad guys and all this, and so it was just it was obviously a bad situation, but it was just funny how they were trying to retell what happened.
And Weller and Allie are having a girl.
Yes.
So.
Except. Oh no, it was fake. Okay.
Yeah. It was fake.
It was fake.
Don't worry. Apparently the mid-season finale was OMG, holy crap.
I wrote that.
Yeah. So, Dr. Borden is with Sandstorm. And Reed is injured and going into surgery. And Roman was injected by Jane with the forgetting serum. I'm sure there's a different name for it.
There's a name for it, but I don't know what it is. So yeah, so that was the mid-season finale of that. And then we're watching season 14 of NCIS. Senior was back, Tony's dad, and Torres might be growing on me. Just a little bit.
Like a loving little mold.
Great. McGee and Delilah are going to move into Tony's old apartment. And we have another episode of that to watch tonight, too. So, and then the hubs and I are watching season 3 of NCIS New Orleans. It was the Navy SEAL training, and a guy died, but it tied back to an abuse scandal thing that happened, like when he was in high school or something. So, and then
Season 3 of The Librarians started.
yay!
And so this season's story arc is apparently about pure evil.
And pure good.
As opposed to fake evil.
No, pure evil.
Impure evil.
It makes me think,
dirty evil.
It makes me think of Lost and the light and the dark and the good and the bad. One of the episodes we were watching was where Locke was teaching Walt about backgammon, how to play backgammon, and he's got the black and the white pieces. It's really interesting to rewatch it now from it being, it's, you know, we watched the whole thing, it's been a while, and then going back and it's like, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't see that before. I didn't realize that, oh, that's what that meant. So, and that is all the TV we've watched. So, I think we're ready to move on to the next segment.
Now going to talk about our September, October, November artistic autumnal cal.
Which is coming to an end. You have 1 week from today.
1 week.
So it started the 1st of September and runs through the 30th of November. It's for any project you knit, crochet, weave, or spin that you can convince us is related to autumn. I'm seeing a shadow of the tripod on the wall, and I keep thinking it's like a bug or something on the wall, and I'm like, that's why I keep going like, wait, what was that? Because I keep catching it right out of the corner of my eye.
I'll obscure it for you.
Oh, thank you. No whips are allowed, so you had to start your project September 1st or later, and it runs through the 30th of November. But feel free to poly dip in other cowls. There's lots of lovely prizes that we have up on the screen right now. If you want to know more about them, you can go to our show notes.
GeekyGirlsKnit.com.
Or tune in to the first podcast of every month where we talk about them in detail. So we won't announce prizes next week because we'll be recording on the 30th. So it'll be the week after. So that'll be like the 7th or something is when we'll draw for the prizes. But we'll lock the thread the morning of the 1st of December. Every project you finish is one entry into the giveaways. You have to be a member of the Geeky Girls Knit podcast group on Ravelry to participate. Post a photo of your finished project in the FO thread, and you can use the hashtag GGKAutumnal16 for your projects. I already said we'll lock the threads. If you're a winner, you'll have 30 days to claim your prize. And we have a chatter thread in the Ravelry group if you want to participate in being cheered on. Dammy cheerleads us. It's lovely. And in that vein, why don't you tell us who finished projects this week?
Okay. Army Wife 2102, Asteride, Ben DJ, CJ Bullion, Cozy Cute Knits, Crafty Textile Lady, Falling Star 12, Flipa MC, Frymeister, Gypsy the Dog, Hazy Summers, Ingard Stoka, I Knit Socks 2, Jammin' to Knit, Karen's 1, Kasasagi Designs, Calicron, Knitosaurus Rex, Knit Central, Knit Crazy Kate, Knit Live Love, Cosmic, Lauren the Human, Lil Angel SG2, Elle McCall, Mamma Mia 64, Minerva's Bliss, Piper's Mom, Rainbow Ange, Ramona Firehorse, Rue CMC, Rose Bob, Shirley Merly, Ski Nanigans, Skyly Knits, Sylvia 1002, Trilinda, Twiddling Sister, Texas Woman 5031, VT Kimmy Kim, Weeping Wool, and Yarnsmith Dory.
Great job, everybody. So make sure and get your projects finished and posted in the FO thread by next Wednesday because the thread will close on Thursday. So you have 7 days left. All right, let's move on to the next segment.
Now it's time for Ask the Geeky Girls, a part of our show where you ask us things and we answer them.
So what's this week's question?
This week's question comes from Rhonda, who is dueling needles from Pennsylvania. Do we periscope?
No. That's not the kind of periscope she's talking about. No, we do not periscope. At this point, I have so much social media that I participate in, primarily Instagram and Ravelry, but I also have a Twitter account and Facebook account and page. Plus, when the retreat was going on, I had all of those ones as well, and I just could not add another social media thing. So I think I have only watched like one Periscope, but it was one that I didn't download the app. I was able to watch it online. It was, I can't remember what it was. It was something special. I think it was a Starship member doing something, and I watched that. So no, we don't Periscope, but kudos to those of you who do. So Rhonda, I think we answered your question. No. So if somebody else has a question, what should they do?
Go to our Ask the Geeky Girls thread in our Ravelry group and post it.
And we tend to answer them in order, and so we'll get to yours as soon as we can. All right, we have a review, so let's move on.
And now we have a review.
We have a review of Pom Pom Quarterly issue 19.
It says right there.
Oh, it does say. We're looking at the barcode. I was looking on the side, though. Issue 19, the winter 2016 issue. Reflections is the theme. And as always, they have knocked this one out of the park. There's some...
Smells nice.
I know, I love the way that Pom Pom Quarterly smells. Okay, I'm trying to get back here to the pattern so we can tell them the details about each one. So first up, we have this lovely sweater. I hope the sun is going to cooperate and not make it reflect weird. It's called Cesium.
That's an element.
It is by Sachiko Bergen. And this is a worsted weight sweater in 7 sizes. Knit on US 6 and US 8 4 and 5 mil needles. And it's knit in pieces from the bottom up, and the sleeves are worked separately before seaming everything together.
It looks cozy.
It does look really cozy. The kind of twisty cable pattern on it is really, really, really nice. I like that one. And then next up we have this.
It has tassels.
It does have tassels, and I love the design of it. This is Alula by Claire Lakewood. What happens to stripes when you put them in a hall of mirrors? They rotate and tessellate. That was her inspiration.
That was a good one.
Yep. So it is it comes in 2 sizes, and it's knit with a heavy lace weight, light fingering weight yarn on US 2.5 3 mil needles. You start with a striped garter tab and then work from the top down in 2 row stripes. And you carry your yarn, so you're not going to have a zillion ends to weave in. That is very positive because weaving in ends. Next up, we have this beautiful scarf. The color is so lovely. This is Ondito by Soline Leroux. Its diagonal lines are zigzagging together to create a striking diamond motif. So this comes in 1 size. It's knit with DK yarn on US 7s 4.5 mil needles. It's worked flat, beginning and ending with twisted rib and featuring a twisted cable pattern repeat. Very nice. Very nice. Then we have this lovely cardigan with pocketses. This is the Ma'am by Linda Dubeck. Oh, it comes from the Japanese concept of ma, so we may not be saying it right.
It might be ma'am.
It's the potential and meaningfulness of negative space. So this is knit in, there's 5.
It might be pronounced ma'am, like as a sort of funny.
It could be. It comes in 5 sizes. It's knit with a super bulky weight yarn on US 10s 6 mil needles. It's a combined raglan / saddle shoulder shaping. It's 9 pieces knit flat and then seamed. 2 front pieces, 2 back pieces, 2 sleeves, 2 pockets, and a collar. And every piece uses crochet cast on method to create a smooth transition and making it easy to sew up. So that's pretty cool. Then we have this one, which I love. If I were to knit it, I would knit it a little bit longer because I'm not a crop shoulder.
It's not really cropped.
It's not totally cropped, but it is a little. It's shorter than I would want it to be. I'd want to wear it a little longer. This is Lamelle by Francesca Hughes. Let's see here. It comes in 5 sizes. It's meant to be worn with positive ease, but it has fitted sleeves. It's knit in a fingering 4-ply weight yarn on US 2.5 and US 4, 3, and 3.5 mil needles. It's knit in pieces before seaming and picking up stitches for the neckband worked in the round. And the hip pleats are set after the final blocking process.
The hip pleats.
That's kind of cool.
The hippest pleats.
And there's some bobbles on the hem. That's kind of cool. I like the effect of the space between the stripes. Next up, this is probably my favorite one out of this issue. This is Palindrome by Julia Farwell Clay. It was inspired by a woven deck chair. It uses intarsia and mitered corners to create a symmetrical design. So let's see. It comes in 1 size. It's knit with lace weight. If I were to knit it, I'd probably knit it with 4-ply. On US 5, 3.75 mil needles. It's provisionally cast on in the middle. Additional stitches are cable cast on. And then the left side is worked using stripes, mitered corner shaping, and intarsia to create blocks of colors. And then the provisional stitches are picked up to complete the right side in the same way. That's pretty cool. Okay, so that's what it would look like. Huh, cool. So I really do like that one. Next up is a hat. It's very pretty. Fragmentation by Kiyomi Bergen.
Are Kiyomi and Sachiko Bergen related?
I have no idea. It was inspired by the way light reflects off fragments of a broken mirror. It comes in 3 sizes, but it says version 1 and version 2. Hold on, let me read. I'm not sure what the difference are. Maybe that one is a gradient? I'm not sure. But yes, it comes in 3 sizes, 4-ply fingering weight, and yeah, that one's a gradient. The other is not. So that must be what the 2 different options are. It's worked in the round from the bottom up. Yeah. So that must be the 2 different options are that. So very nice. And then we have these lovely mitts called Vanishing Point by Georgia Farrell. Inspired by lines on perspective drawings converging and disappearing into the vanishing point. So there are 3 sizes of these. They're knit in a DK light worsted weight yarn on US 3 and US 5, 3.25 and 3.75 mil needles. It's worked in the round from the cuff to the fingertips with a gusset thumb. Very nice. Those are very pretty. I really like those. And then we have another hat pattern, Alloy by Tatiana Scacchi. And this is a brioche hat pattern, and one that I think I might try for my very first brioche pattern. I don't know that it's one that I would actually wear, but it would be a nice one to donate to like charity or something, or for Dammy.
To donate to me.
It comes in 3 sizes. It's knit in a sport weight. Oh, the yarn that they used. They use the fiber company Road to China Light, which is 65% alpaca, 15% silk, 10% camel, and 10% cashmere. It's knit using there they are. US 5 3.75. I got confused right there. Needles, and it's knit, like as we said, it's a brioche pattern. So I think I might have to try that one as a learn how to do brioche tutorial thing. Next we have Talet. Oh, and it's a palindrome. By Justina Lorkowska. I love the neck on this, and the detail at the hip. It is in 5 sizes, knit with a chunky, bulky weight yarn on US 9s, 10s, and 10.5. So 5.5, 6, and 6.5 mil needles. And it's worked seamlessly from the top to the bottom. With stitches picked up around the neck for the stand-up lace collar. It's beautiful. I love the collar. So pretty. And then, pages are sticking together. Okay, we have Calder by Sarah Shepard, and it's another scarf. It's meant to add a little flutter to your evening wear. Oh, I didn't notice that the Talet had thumb holes in the sleeves. I love that kind of detail. Fabulous. Calder. It's 1 size, knit in a 4-ply fingering weight yarn on US 4s 3.5 mil needles. And it's knit from pointed end to pointed end. So that's cool. And it's reversible because there's not really a right side or a wrong side. So that's kind of cool. That's very pretty. And that's all the patterns. Then we have an essay by Anna Maltz called Fitting Reflections, talking about the rise of dissatisfaction with our bodies because of mass-produced clothing and sizing and such like that. And then we have this beautiful story called Crafting Superpowers. I'm trying to see who did they... It's another one by Katie Green, and it's talking about the relationship with yourself, with your own reflection. It's a beautiful, beautiful little story. I really, really like that a lot. And then we got to get there to the patterns. And then we have another essay, this one by Bristol Ivy, called Through a Cracked Mirror, The Beauty of Asymmetry and Imperfection, which is a lovely little essay. And then we have a cocktail called Day and Night. The recipe's by Rebecca Lawrence. And it's gin and vermouth and, all-nighter, espresso and rum. And then, that's everything. So that is Pom Pom Quarterly, issue 19, winter 2016. We give it a thumbs up. As always, we adore Pom Pom Quarterly, and we love the way it smells. Thank you, Pom Pom Quarterly, for making yummy smelling magazines. So, if you haven't already, get your hands on a copy of Pom Pom Quarterly. You can also buy the ebook version on Ravelry. So, we recommend it. All right, let's move on to the last segment. All right, we are here to the end of the show. Thanks for sticking with us. I know that was kind of a bombshell to drop partway through TV, so thank you for sticking with us. And thank you for remembering my mama in your thoughts and prayers. Appreciate y'all. So our recording schedule is normal for the foreseeable future. So if anything changes with that, we'll let you know. We did want to remind you, we mentioned it earlier, that we have CALs starting on December 1st. So a week from tomorrow, Thursday. The first one is We are co-hosting with Jilly from the Knitting Broomstick podcast, The White Christmas Cow. And this will be very similar to the Gilmore Girls cow that we did with her. If you have any prizes you'd like to donate to that, you can PM me, Java Pearl on Ravelry, or email us at geekygirlsknit@gmail.com. And then our normal seasonal cow that will run December, January, February, the Winter Wonderland cow, also starts next Thursday. And you can double dip in those two cows together. That's totally fine. But if you'd like to donate a prize to the Winter Wonderland cow, contact us the same way. And we will have all the details about both of those cows for you in next week's podcast episode. Also, a reminder that the 52 Weeks of Charity cow is ongoing. The details are in the Ravelry group and the second podcast of every month. We'd like to say a huge thank you. We love you guys. To everyone who supports the podcast, whether it's through Patreon or PayPal or Amazon, or just by watching every week. And we're thankful for each and every one of you. If you'd like to help support the podcast financially, there's 3 ways you can do that. First up is Patreon, which is a service where you can pledge an amount each month to the podcast, and there are rewards based on how much you pledge. That's the word. If you would like more details on that or would like to sign up to do that, you can do that at
patreon.com/geekygirlsknit.
You want to tell them the next way?
There's also a PayPal button in the sidebar of our website if you'd like to make a one-time donation.
Yes. And then finally, we are Amazon.com and .co.uk affiliates. If you go to our website and click through to Amazon.com or .co.uk and then purchase something, Amazon gives us a little money back based on what you spent. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and that money goes almost exclusively to shipping out prizes because shipping is expensive. So you can find out more about all those things on our website. Speaking of which, why don't you tell them where to find us online?
You can find us at geekygirlsknit.com. There are the links to everywhere else we are online: YouTube, iTunes, Ravelry, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc.
That's right. And with that, we're going to tell you goodbye. We hope that you have a lovely rest of your week. For our fellow U.S. people, happy Thanksgiving. We hope that you have a lovely time with family and friends. We will be celebrating Thanksgiving with my bestie Katie and her family, although we'll be doing it, I think, on Saturday just because of how schedules worked out. So, but we'll also be watching the new Gilmore Girls because, yes, that's the way to do it. So we hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving and find time for yourself to have a little bit of crafting during what can be chaotic days. And we will talk to you next week. Happy knitting. Bye.
Bye.
Just 1 second. I split a stitch.
Don't do that. It's dangerous. Yeah.
What was my... Oh, I didn't talk about my other knitting attacks. That should have been in whips. Would you like me to tell you right now? The shawl I'm working on right now, the sister shawl, the White Christmas collection. So I just dived back into it after I finished my Nanny Soma sweater. And I did like 5 rows, and forgot to do the increases. So I had to tink back because there was beading in it. It's better now, but it was a knitting attacks week, apparently, for me.